Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Is This a Podcast with Adam, K, Z, A. It's just three people, Adam, Kevin, the letter Z. That's all we'll
The
call them.
letter
You'll
exactly. That's
understand.
that's what most people know me as. The letter Z.
The letter Z and nothing else.
They just
As we discussed last time, some people call you Zed. We don't like that one though.
some people who do call me Zed. Somebody asked me today when I was at work. They're like, if you had a superhero name, what would it be? And then they told me Super Z, and I was like, no, they're gonna call me Zed. And
I
the person was
mean,
like, what? That's just the way that Canadian people say it.
I
Zed.
think you'd have a better superhero name. I don't
Uh-huh.
like Zed. I'll think on it though. I'll think on it. Maybe I'll come up with one during this. We'll see. But yeah, this is episode 2. This is where we just chat about what we're doing, what's going on, what's on our mind. It might get deep. It probably won't. Might get weird. Definitely will.
Probably will,
But
yeah.
yeah. So we don't do this often. It's not weekly. It's not bi-weekly. Not even monthly, probably. But
Just whenever we feel like it.
whenever we feel like it. Typically go up on Friday. This one will probably go up on Saturday. So because it's Saturday tomorrow, and I'll figure this out. But Kevin, is there anything you want us to talk about this week? Or
Not
this
in particular.
episode?
No.
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 All right.
Not really in particular.
That's cool. See, what about you?
Actually, I was gonna talk about Dogecoin and how it went up so
Ooh.
high today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going at I'm falling down. I fell. Going at about 30. When I woke up this morning, it was 32 cents. Going up from there. Last night, apparently, Elon Musk did a tweet and it was 29 cents by the end of the night. And then I guess overnight it went up about 32, 33. Then this morning at about like 9:30 to 10, it hit 47 cents and then dropped right back down after that for a little bit. And then I think it's been stagnant around 37. But a lot of people are saying this is going to be the next big thing. I mean, yeah, they say that about a lot of the cryptocurrency that's going around right now because they all have the same potential, quote unquote. I guess it all depends
Mm.
on what kind of backing they have. But Dogecoin is one of those because it was something made to make fun of cryptocurrency, and now it's becoming exactly what it set out to make fun of.
Yeah.
And it's so weird and odd to think about it that way because people were posting all morning like their gains and stuff like that from Doge. This one dude posted like he had I think 200,000 shares in Doge because all he did was put like 10K or 20K into here.
Mhm.
This man was a millionaire today.
Yeah. There's
I
some
was like,
success stories.
oh my God.
The higher it goes, the tougher it is to figure out when to sell.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm probably just gonna. I have quite a bit of shares in there. I'm just gonna sell it like whenever it hits 1,000. I fully believe it's gonna hit 1,000 one day.
I don't know
People
how
call me
long that's going
crazy.
to take. If that
Eh,
happens, I don't know how
a
long it's
lot
going
of
to take.
people are saying it's gonna be sooner than you think because Bitcoin took what 10 years to reach the 60 something thousand dollars it's now.
Well,
Um,
it took 10 years, but also about 55,000 of that was done in about a year and a half or 2
yeah.
years. So like
So it's a real possibility. It's not like it can't happen. It's a real possibility.
yeah,
Definitely a real possibility.
you bought it cheaper than me and you bought more than me. I bought it at less than 1 cent still.
I
Or
should have never sold a little bit, but that's always the risk. Obviously, you
it's
never
always
know.
the
So
risk. I sold a little bit of it, got made like what, $200 or something like that. I didn't make too much.
I think I made like
But
a grand when I sold my shares, but I should have never done it.
yeah, looking
100%
at
should have
mine,
never
it's
done it.
gone up 4,500%. So I'm not making I'm making like 1/5 of what you're making basically right now. I'm not doing too hot on it, but it's bonus, and like I said to you earlier, I'm with you. I'll go to 1,000. Like I put so little in that if I never see this money again, I'm okay with it. So I'm just letting it
Mm-hmm.
ride, and I'm in it for the long haul. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, you put some into Doge, or you do any stocks or anything?
No, I don't do any of that. Although starting to think that maybe that's the next thing to do.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
it's fun if you have honestly, sign up with an app from I don't know, Z will send you an invite for one of them or something, and
You can send me the invite for that one. I don't need to send the invite for that. I would say don't do Robinhood this time. I
yeah,
would
don't
say
do
do something like
Robinhood.
do something like Coinbase if you're just gonna work on cryptos. There's so many cryptos out there that you can definitely get for like
I wouldn't
less
even
than
recommend
pennies.
cryptos,
Why?
starting
Cryptos
off.
are like
If you
yeah,
wanted
but
to
cryptos.
start off, because I have XRP and I have Bitcoin, and XRP apparently was doing well, and I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, it's doing all right. But I have a partial bit of one Bitcoin. I don't have a full Bitcoin, but yeah, I've been in Bitcoin for, oh God, a year at this point, 2 years.
You
On
have a partial
Coinbase.
Bitcoin though.
Yeah, I have partial Bitcoin. I don't have a full Bitcoin. I wish I had thousands of dollars. Honestly, the Doge stock is fighting with how much I have in Bitcoin. It hasn't gone up too much comparatively. The percentage wise, it's only gone up 30% for me. It hasn't gone up too high. But yeah, I'd recommend just looking at some stocks that you're curious about. When I first started, I'm not doing any math or anything. I just put it into something where I'm like, I feel like this is gonna go up because I keep hearing news about it. I keep reading about it. I got some investments in some weed stocks, just a bunch of like marijuana companies, and rules on marijuana are getting more and more relaxed, and those stocks have gone up the last few months and stuff. So, and then Sony, I've had money in them because I just like Sony. And also at the time, I was like, I think Sony's gonna go up, and I told Z about it, and we both invested, and it went up. It went up a significant amount.
That it
So
did. That it
yeah,
did.
basically added another third of its original value to it. So that was pretty cool. So Kevin, yeah, I'd recommend throwing if you have $50, $100, throw it in. See what you can do. See what happens. Buy low,
Mhm.
sell high. You know the rules. You'd figure it out pretty
Well,
easily.
You know the rules, and so do I.
Hey, that was so good. We might get a copyright strike. So hold
Listen,
back.
that's that's a meme in itself. So you know.
Yeah, we know. It's 2021, not 2011. A lot of people
I'm
know.
sorry. Oh my
Even
God.
2011, I think the
oh,
meme was dead. Honestly,
Was it dead
I always
then?
get that messed up.
I would assume so. That song,
I
I
don't.
think that
I
was
don't
the first
think.
one.
I
Hold
don't
on,
think
I'll
that it's
Google it
dead.
because there's
Yeah.
Know Your Meme. You know that website? That's a good website. I'm gonna go to Know Your Meme. Know Your Meme. Rickroll. Yeah, it originated on 4chan in 2006. So I was thinking 2006.
Mm.
But yeah, that meme is basically dead by by
There's some
2009 ish.
there are so many memes that are like, I don't know. They come back, they're dead. They come back, they're dead. It's
Oh
like that.
yeah,
It's a,
yeah, the Minecraft parodies and stuff. Those were dead for a while, and then they came back a year and a half ago for a hot
yes.
minute, and then they're gone again. Because it's just how the internet works. It's all cyclical, just like all human history. So, word of the day: cyclical.
Word of the
It's
day.
when you
No.
lick a popsicle
No,
and you get sick.
no word of the day.
Oh, that's also wrong.
No, no, no. What I said was correct. What Z said was
Oh, I don't
incorrect.
think so.
Yeah, but I
I
used it
just said what,
correctly, so I'm not good at
but
definitions. You know that.
I just said word of the day. Why would I? Okay.
No, no, no. It was too musical, too melodic.
Yeah, we
Need
can't
to
we
change
can't
it
do the
up.
melodies.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Cause
I
yeah,
apologize. I can't do the melodies. Yeah,
all of a sudden
get copy strike for that.
yeah, you're gonna see Big Daddy Music Man show up, and be like, hey, I'm going down for this.
Big Daddy Music Man.
And
Hey,
he's not
yeah,
gonna
it's
take me out for ice cream.
I mean, he might.
Big Daddy Music Man.
Yeah, Big Daddy Music Man might take you out for ice cream, but also he's gonna make you pay for the ice cream. You'd be like, wow, what a bait and
But
switch this was.
I don't
Just
want to
like a
pay the. I
Rickroll,
don't.
it's a bait and switch.
But I
You
don't
like?
want to pay for the ice cream.
I
What?
have bad news for you. What, Kevin, what?
I'm just here for the ride.
The Rickroll meme, it was described as a bait and switch in that Know Your Meme. So,
Oh,
everything I've said so far is correct, except the cyclical definition. Everything else,
just
A.
everything Adam said about Bethesda and Microsoft is correct too.
Oh,
Now,
oh.
I have a question for you. Are you the United States and am I a country with oil? Because you've just declared war on me. All right?
Wow.
I just don't understand. We're all Americans,
Oh,
obviously, as you tell by our voice.
the,
It's okay.
the political taste here. The political taste here is great.
Honestly, if you're for or against the war, you know why we went. Like, you get it. It's just,
War.
so you know the
Ain't he?
war.
Yeah,
Nam.
we're going back.
Um,
Anyway.
yeah. Yeah, Nam. Yeah.
Isn't he calling them back this year? Isn't he calling them back to
Okay, we're gonna go a little. We're just gonna state some facts about some politics. Former President Donald Trump, he announced that he was gonna recall the troops from Afghanistan and all of them, mostly Afghanistan, and his
Yeah.
goal was to do that by like the end of his first term, like partially into his second term. His goals and timelines change so often. And he was doing that, and then a lot of people criticized it on both sides of the aisle because, you take them out, like, it's too unstable now. The Taliban now runs over 50% of the country, like, blah, 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 blah. And then,
Shocker.
yeah, who knew? When you're there, but you do the minimal job. Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
I know, right?
and then Biden's like, hey, I'm continuing to do what he does, and we're gonna have him out by the anniversary of September 11th, 2001. So the 20th anniversary.
Wow.
That's this year.
What a timing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, what a beautiful moment. Hey, we got everybody out of there,
No.
and that might turn into some stuff. But we don't really talk about politics on this show. So
No.
I mean, we
I
can.
didn't. I
No.
mean, I don't.
Let's strike that
I
down.
like, yeah. Let's strike that down immediately.
Let's strike
Similar
that.
to how we strike down the Taliban in 2003.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna
Sorry,
take
go
away
ahead.
your microphone rights.
I mean,
Microphone rights.
if you do that, I'm gonna start marching.
Privileges? Whatever. Oh. So I got news for you. It's April.
Oh no, March. Yeah. Oh crap, you're right. March passed. All right, we went for the same joke, so let's move on to something else. What's everybody been up to? How's life? What's going on?
I
You
mean,
still have a baby,
Hey,
right?
Mortal Kombat movie got pushed back, so we can be hyped for that
uh,
next week.
that it did.
Yeah.
That it
Mortal
did.
Kombat is still. It's next week. It's been delayed due to multiple reasons, probably, but the main one to extend memberships for HBO Max. Um,
No?
I'm curious. I saw some reviews for it. They looked good.
Oh, there's reviews.
Yeah, there's some reviews out. There's not like enough to be like, whoa, this is the best
Well,
film ever
anybody like
made.
noteworthy? I mean,
I mean, probably. I don't really look into them. I can look. Z, what are your thoughts on Mortal
yeah.
Kombat while I look at this?
Take a looky.
I mean, the Mortal Kombat
Check a
movie,
look.
from what I've, check a look. Yeah. From what I've seen already, I mean, again, my thoughts are the same. I hope it doesn't turn into like a Dragon Ball Evolution type of thing.
It won't. Just
I
from what
think,
we've
yeah, I
seen in
think
the
it's
trailers,
gonna,
it won't.
I think it's gonna do well. Honestly speaking, it looks like it's oriented correctly to the fans as far as what they want to accomplish, what they want to show off, and the choreography and fighting looks pretty good. The CG looks good, I think, from what I've seen in the trailers, right? Unless I'm mistaken on that. I'm not too
The
good at
The
judging
Goro,
Goro is
CG.
just questionable,
the
but we've
Goro
only seen
scene.
it for a brief period.
I think the Goro is going to remain questionable. You're definitely gonna. You're gonna watch the movie. You're gonna be like, that's definitely a CGI character. But it really
Mm.
just depends on in the moment does it work, and I think in the moment it will work.
Yeah.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, it's only people who've reviewed it from other countries.
Other countries.
Singapore, the new paper in Singapore, they gave it a fresh. La Nacion in Argentina, they gave it a rotten.
They
Okay.
gave it a rotten.
Yeah. It takes itself too seriously and is boring, according to that rotten score. And then this one person said, 25 years later, this new version brings little to nothing new. referencing the original film. I mean, I certainly hope it brings new things. So currently, it has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes with 10 reviews. But like I said, it's mostly in territories where the film has opened, I believe. Not yet American reviewers or anything like that. But I'm excited for it. I think we're all going to enjoy it. A friend of mine
I'm
has
super
rented out a
excited.
theater, and he sent me a
All right.
Facebook invite, and he's like, "You want to go watch it?" And I'm like, "I do, but not with you." So I declined. So I also don't want to go to a theater. You can't. You can only sit next to people that you're in the same household with. You have to sit at least 2 rows apart or something. So it's like a small, or like 2 chairs apart. That probably makes more sense. I think it's 2 chairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2
I think
rows
it's
doesn't
two
make
chairs.
sense at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2 rows would be
yeah.
vertically.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, 2 rows
Hey.
apart or 2 chairs apart, and then but he's renting it out, and the people at the he's renting it out at Regal, a location that we all know and have been to. I'm not going to say the actual thing because I don't want to get stalked and murdered. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So when he rented out, he showed the email that he had with the Regal employees, and he's like, "Oh, this is." They're like, "Oh, you gotta bring your laptop, and we'll connect your HBO account to our projector." And I'm like, "Oh, that's
That's cool.
interesting." And I'm curious to
Yeah.
know how much he's paid, but since I've declined before I asked, I just feel like that's rude. So,
I mean,
also, I'm surprised he asked me because I haven't talked to him in like 6 years. I think the last time I saw him, oh boy, it might have been at the first Godzilla, so 7 years ago.
would you really have to pay that much though? I don't know.
To rent out a theater, the last I checked, it was like around $300.
Yeah, it's not much.
I mean,
When you really think about it, like, okay,
it's
if
not
you were to
terrible.
go pay for tickets at said theater to watch whatever they were showing,
Yeah.
that's like, what, 30 people?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's not actually that bad. I was expecting higher, like 700, but
I gotta
I
agree with
mean,
Kevin here, because when you look at movie theaters now, I mean, well, before the pandemic, but anything like that, I mean, it would be what, $20 a ticket or $15 a ticket for somebody to go see a
yeah.
it
movie?
didn't go that high yet. But let's not.
Well, if you're seeing it in IMAX and stuff, then
Ooh, that's fair. Okay.
yeah, you're seeing it in IMAX, you're basically at 30. And
I'm
the
giving you the
Yeah.
average. I think that the average cost would be fair if I said it that way. Then
yeah, it's around 15 now at this point, to go see a movie during a matinee. It's expensive. I remember when it was like $8.
Yeah,
So
remember? That wasn't long ago. That was like, what, 3, 4 years ago?
no, it was longer than that.
Oh, all right, well.
If you go like in the afternoon 3-4 years ago, it was around that price, but they recently pumped that up to like $11 or $12. Like it's
Oh,
getting more and more expensive. But the thing is, I love going to the movies, so like I'm okay with paying the price.
movies are
And one
fun to go
year,
to.
for our one friend C, I think we call him on here. Um,
So is that what we
I
call him?
thought about why not? I thought about renting a movie theater like for his birthday, and I remember looking into the cost, and I'm like, it'd be really funny if I only invited him to it though, and like nobody else, and we just watched
yeah,
Mad Max Fury Road again.
there we go.
And like we
Yeah.
think about that all the time. We talk about that a lot to just rent a theater and watch Mad Max Fury Road because that movie is so good, especially in the theater experience. But then we decide against it. So, but maybe one day we'll do that. Also, um, I was surprised he was able to get Mortal Kombat viewed because um, if you go on like any theater's website, it says you can rent out a theater and then it lists specific movies, like how much it would cost. Like
Mm.
each movie is a different price.
Mm-hmm.
For Mortal Kombat, I didn't even see that listed or Snyder Cut or anything like that. So I'm curious to
Mm.
see how that works.
Right.
So maybe one day I'll look into it. After Z and I become billionaires and trillionaires, quadrillionaires from our Doge, I'll look
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
that. So could be good.
All right.
I would agree. Once you become those millionaires, trillionaires, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I know. The closer I'm getting, the more I'm excited. I'll let you
I
know.
am every time I see
I'm
that,
so excited.
like, did you see the latest one that they showed off, the trailer for it? Oh my
Yeah.
God, some of the enemies look so good, especially the one that, like, inhabits her suit and looks like the or like the undead version of her. Everything about those
Yeah.
enemies, though, reminds me of, like, Dead Space type of enemies, and I don't know why.
I mean, they're aliens and
Really?
like
Okay.
they're creepy looking.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like oh God, I can't even think of the name of the game. It's the one they made previously, the side scroller where you're like the spaceship, like shooting Geometry Wars. No, that's not it. I don't remember. I'll look that up as we're talking. But it reminds me of that because there were things that attacked you in that were just creepy alien things, and I'm like, this just looks like a third person version of that. Like how many particle effects are coming off like each creature, and oh my God, like I gotta see the
Mm-hmm.
trophies though. I'm worried about them trophies.
But I don't think you should be.
Well, you know me, Kevin. I'm worried about the trophies.
I'm worried about them trophies.
There's no, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Housemark. That's who made it. Oh, they're Finnish. I didn't know they were Finnish. Interesting. Games developed. Yeah, Stardust maybe? Was it Stardust I'm thinking of? Yeah, it's
Maybe.
Stardust. Yeah, they did Stardust, Dead Nation, Resogun. It might be Resogun I'm thinking of. What is Matterfall?
I think Resogun is the one you're thinking of, the side-scrolling one.
I might be thinking of Matterfall because I'm just looking at the box for this, and this looks exactly like like it was like Returnal came from this. If you look up Matterfall, released in August 2017, PlayStation 4. Interesting. I don't remember that one. Yeah, no, all their side scrolling stuff in the past. So I'm curious about this game. Still hesitant. Not only because of trophies, because it's just not my type of game. Um, but also like, how long do you think the campaign is? Have they said anything about that?
If I had to give it a fair shot, I want to say it's going to be a good decent sized campaign. I don't think it's
I
going to be like 10
mean,
hours. I think
I
it'll
think
be
it's
like
gonna be like,
15 to
I think it's 5 or 6, and I think the
no.
replayability is gonna be there. That would be my guess.
yeah, I mean, it really depends how they're doing the whole roguelite,
Yeah,
because it's either going to be hard as hell and short, or it'll be pretty lengthy, and the more you play through it, the more stuff you get, and like, I don't know, it artificially gets longer. There's a whole bunch of ways you could do it, and
yeah.
it really depends. It
I
depends if
find
they're going to go for a way or a method of play where you have to actually beat the game, quote, quote, multiple times to actually get
Mhm.
to the ending.
Mhm.
see now. Well, I would say like beating it once. Like how long is that gonna take? That's when I say like by completing a game. That may not be their completion, but if you're beating it, then you completed it. In my eyes, you might not
Well,
get the true ending.
I mean, again, it kind of depends how they do it, because the problem with establishing where the end of the game is that they've already come out and said the planet is going to continually change, and you're trying to discover what's going on, which could very easily be like, oh yeah, here you completed run 1 after like 2 hours. This like event takes place, and then that changes the planet. Now do it again.
Yeah, I mean I know what you're saying, but at the same time, like I don't know. It's just I feel
I
like
don't think
there's
it's always going to have the same start point and the same end point, which is exciting for me. So
so the only reason I say like I think it will be short is because this is the biggest game Housemark has ever made. Um,
mm-hmm.
it's possible for it to be long, but I think they would just keep it short, like concentrate on the aspects changing. I think that's like artificial length, what you're talking about in my eyes. Um,
Well, yeah,
so I do think it's 5 or 6 hours is maybe you have to do it 4 times, so that gets you to the 20 hours or 24, if I did my math correctly.
I mean, they could also go Binding of Isaac route, where a run through can take you like just a couple hours, but if you want to finish every level of the game and do every other thing, you have to unlock all of that progression.
Yeah, that game is crazy. I watched a
There's
guy
so
get all the
much in that
achievements
game.
in the game.
Oh,
Yeah, a little too much.
with all DLCs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
he
lot.
recently did that. I didn't even watch every episode he did because I couldn't even commit that much.
No, there's so much
a
to do in that game.
little too much for me. But yeah, I'm excited for Returnal. I think it's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
good. I think no matter what, I think it comes out and it's good. So we have our Metacritic predictions for it. So I'm curious to see how that goes. See, what am I
Outriders,
doing?
still no major reviews up. Well, not no, but
Well,
a lot of major
Outriders?
reviews are still not there.
They're kind of. But a lot of them are reviews in progress, which people usually don't update for like a month.
Mm.
Which is annoying. But I actually haven't looked in a minute. Let me look. Outriders Metacritic.
I looked pretty recently. I think it was yesterday.
Back up to 76. Wait, where is this? Are we on the PlayStation 5? I think we're on PlayStation 35. 22.
I'm still curious with
Nope, it's at 73.
Returnal. I think I'm gonna get it, but I don't know 100% yet. I'm gonna see how people like it, first impressions, and how people see it. I'll probably end up grabbing it, I think.
I'll let you know.
Please do, yeah.
I already got it pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered.
I'm ready.
Nice,
Heck yeah.
nice.
It's a bullet hell shooter. I'm there.
I think I'm up for that, honestly speaking. It sounds fun.
So what else is actually coming out this year, or is everything just gonna get pushed back? Let's talk about that.
There's. I mean, will everything
Resident
get
Evil's
pushed
still
back?
coming out.
Yeah, that's
Resident
definitely
Evil's
coming
still
out.
happening.
That
Ratchet
Village.
and Clank is still happening.
Well, I
Back for
think
Blood got pushed back to October.
I think I talked to Kevin about this. I think Ratchet and Clank might get delayed.
Why?
Because Ratchet and Clank, we've only seen the same gameplay since the first time it was revealed. We've seen one trailer that showed a little bit of new footage along with the release date. I almost said due date. Like it was an exam or something. And they've not really talked about it at all. And it probably won't happen, but for some reason my gut is telling me like this might get delayed. Like I'm expecting to be wrong on this, but at the same time, like there's just in the back of my mind it's there. So
I don't think this is gonna get. I don't think that's gonna get pushed back. I think June is an okay time for it.
I don't think they can afford to push it back.
No, I think they need to release it just because it's time to give, besides Returnal, that's one of the exclusives happening, Ratchet and Clank, and then what's the other, Kenna's coming out as well.
Yeah, that's August.
And then
Horizon Forbidden West is supposed to be this year.
It's supposed to still
so
be
is
this
God
year.
of War.
Yeah.
So, like, a good chunk of these are coming out, I would bet, but, like, I don't know about God of War. I would almost guarantee God of War's not coming out this year. I'm 50-50 on Horizon, and I would think that if they
Horizon's becoming
delayed
more and more likely to come out this year, I think.
I'm still 50-50 on it though. And then with Ratchet and Clank, like I could totally see them delaying it or wanting to delay it, but then they don't because there's nowhere to delay it to. Because the last half of the year is going to be so stacked with every other game. Because we were supposed to get Deathloop, and now that's coming out in September. So, and that was
Back for Blood got delayed.
October, yeah.
Didn't Deathloop get delayed as well?
That's what I just said.
Oh yeah, you did.
September.
It's all right. You know, before this even started, you were barely paying attention. So how?
I'm paying attention. Relax.
Ghostwire Tokyo is supposed to be coming out this year, but there's no actual date for it.
That's also supposed to be happening. Yeah.
Still not announced. Far Cry 6 is this year, right? No date. Evil West?
No date on that one.
No date? So, we shall see. I'm a little nervous.
I don't think there's that many things that got delayed this year, though. I mean, there's some things that got pushed back to next year. Don't get me
Gotham Knights,
wrong,
Gran
but,
Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, and Prince of Persia remake. The first three I just named were delayed till next year. Prince of Persia has been delayed for
indefinite.
for forever, I would say.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's good. That should just never come out.
That
Anything
was
Ubisoft should
hot
just never come
garbage.
out.
Well, let's not go that way, alright?
I like Ubisoft.
What? Wait, hold on. No, hold on a minute.
They make my favorite.
What good? What do they make? What do they make?
My
Tell me.
favorite stuff.
What I tell you every single time,
He
and
does.
you still have a problem with it, and I don't know why.
What do they make?
Rainbow Six Siege and For
Uh-huh.
Honor are still being incredibly successful games.
Wait,
They
is
continue
For
to
Honor
push
still
content
supported?
For Honor is not
Yes!
supported. That thing is dead.
Okay. Yep, I don't know anything.
Kevin, where is that supported? Do tell.
Anywhere? They're still releasing new fighters, new cosmetics.
Honestly,
But
I didn't even know
that's-
that game was still going. Good for Honor, I guess.
It's
Is
been
that
going.
really support, or is that just we're trying to keep a dead game alive?
No, I would
Sure.
call that support. That's
Yeah,
definitely
Rainbow
support.
Six Siege is dead too. It only has a multi-million
No,
dollar
no,
tournament scene.
No. We're not.
no. That's yeah. I'm not going to that. That's
I
actually
will.
alive. I
I
understand
don't
that.
mean to be an apologist for Z here, but I think he just forgets about Rainbow Six Siege in his hatred for Ubisoft.
Right.
then-
I don't hate on Rainbow Six Siege as much because I know it's an actually decent game. A lot of people go, they follow that game. The
I'm
thing with
surprised you
me
don't
is,
play that.
On
I
PC
used to.
alone, average concurrent players for Honor is at 4,000.
So I think the reason we thought it was a failure, which is completely understandable to think why it's a failure, is because that is a multiplayer game in a universe that we do not follow at all. And also, when it first came out, it wasn't doing well, and then it got like rebooted, kind of, because the director left it.
It
There was a
did
whole
just
thing
fine
going
when it
on with
came out.
Honor. Not in popularity.
Okay.
But yeah. Any other game that Ubisoft makes, they can go take a hike. I don't really care.
Yeah. After it launched, it lost 95% of its players.
Rainbow Six Siege.
That's not okay. World of Warcraft lost 95% of its players. Rainbow Six Siege has probably lost 50% of its players.
From
It's
February
not a
when it
stat.
released to June,
It's not a
it
stat.
lost 95% of its players. That is the stat.
No, because it's going by total counts.
Yeah, that's kind of a big stat.
I mean, it was free multiple times, so anybody could install it. So all those accounts don't count. I don't know how much more you want me to go into that. Rainbow Six Siege is the same thing. There's been multiple free weekends on Steam alone.
Yeah, that. Oh my god. Yeah, it doesn't matter. In the grand scheme, it doesn't matter because neither one of us is going to change our opinion on it. So I say we move on.
All right.
So, also, how many players does a game have to have concurrently to be a success?
If you have thousands, you're doing pretty damn good, honestly.
Like, is there a number though? You think?
It depends on the game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like the size of the game and everything.
Right.
So, like Valheim, I saw had like 400,000 concurrent players recently. Like a month or two ago, it was saying. And then Among Us
Valheim had
reached
what?
400,000 concurrent.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and then Among Us had like 1.5 million at its peak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's such a quick game.
I wonder where that's at
Pick up and
now.
go.
It's probably
Among Us.
yeah. It's got to drop by. It's got to be less than that. I would guess it's still in the 100,000s. If it's still popular, I don't know though. that game still popular?
Among Us, yeah, they just got a map update, I think. And it just
Yeah.
came on Xbox and Switch. Unfortunately, no PS5 or PlayStation.
Oh, I forgot it was releasing on Xbox and Switch. Interesting stuff. That's a game just never appealed to me.
Among Us is just one of those games that if you have a good group of friends and stuff like that, you play it. It's a lot of fun. But if you don't know people, it is definitely a different type of experience. Like I've played it online with people I have no idea who they are. It's just not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
When you have actual friends on, and you're playing with people you know, you're like, okay, this is gonna be an awesome game. Like just because it's fun to see like, oh, who's a better liar out of everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I get
But
the appeal and everything. We've played that
yeah,
Alien game in Jackbox, which is similar enough. Except you're not working together to try to get off shit, whatever you're doing in Among Us.
yeah.
Diablo 3's only got 16,000 people playing, and it's a brand new season. Is it dead?
No. It's 4 times as
No, I
many
don't.
as
Definitively no.
I would say no, because that's 4 times as many as For Honor.
It's also on all platforms and not just PC.
Yeah, For Honor is on
I
all
gave you only
platforms.
Steam.
Oh, you gave me only Steam. Interesting.
It's hard to get other things. Let me see if the same site has things here. 5,000 across everything.
It's only 1,000 more.
Yeah, it's not a big console game. People play on PC.
Yeah, it seems like it's got a dedicated fan base for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, so does World of Tanks. World of Tanks in America only has like 12,000 people playing, like ever,
That's
or
still
less.
way more than.
But then Europe has 100,000, like easy.
Yeah, but that 12,000 is still way more than the 5,000 people playing in total of For Honor.
Okay, For Honor's 3-on-3. World of Tanks is 15-on-15.
What? What does that matter?
You
I
need
think he
3
means like
people
the
to find a
amount of.
match as opposed to 6.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean more people should be playing it.
Yes, it does. If you're gonna have a big game like that, you need to actually work to keep your player base, in my opinion. But I've also played mods of like games for a good chunk of my life that had like hundreds of people. So I look at
Yeah.
thousands. I'm like, yeah, that game's still alive.
Also, I
Like
found
I
an
played
article.
Natural Selection when that was like a thing,
Hmm.
and there were like 5
I
servers to
don't
choose from
understand
that
what I'm
actually had
supposed to do
people
here.
like at any day or any time of the day.
So, fun fact: I found an article with that's an interview with Luke Deshane. He's the brand manager for Honor, and he talked about how the game completely crashed and failed when it launched, and how they had to resurrect it in 2018, and how that plan has worked out so far.
Oh,
So I think that's where we assumed that the game was dead, and then it looks like it did come back, and as you've described, it has a dedicated fan base. It's still not as big as Ubisoft probably hoped for, but
well,
Ubisoft's a
no, but that
giant
kind of game
company.
just isn't going to be. So
Yeah, that's fair. We even talked about For Honor because we were talking about the Ghost of Tsushima Legends rumor, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this reminds me of like a For Honor, and I just don't see the appeal for this. Like when you guys were talking about bringing in other people or
oh,
other
got it.
things, and then you said it wasn't like that, and I said, yeah, but like not the same gameplay. And, you know how it went. You were there.
I was there.
You know how you are.
I don't
I
know.
was
I think
there.
calling a game dead is going to vary between gamer to gamer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong there. I do think that us calling it dead. I mean, it did die. It was mostly dead for after a few months after it launched. Ubisoft considered it dead, and they had to basically turn it off and turn it back on to reboot it and change everything. So, because I remember it launching with issues, like people were saying there were a lot of balancing issues, and then I
Oh,
remember
I
there
don't
were a
remember
lot of
any of that.
glitches.
I wasn't really paying attention because I played the beta and I was like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah, and then a lot of people who played the
I
beta did not end up buying the game, but that's not surprising because betas are
Yeah, I
free,
think
like you said.
when I had seen that game, it was definitely regarded as like something that shouldn't have come out the time it did. It needed
Yeah.
more work, and they should have paid attention to a lot what the beta testers had said. And the beta testers was like, yeah, we were, we were trying to report this to Ubisoft, and Ubisoft was like, yeah, no, we're good. We already tested this game enough. It's all good to go.
Also, like a few months before it came out, the game director of it like left the company. Like, but and then we learned some years later that it was due to assault allegations and stuff. So,
Well,
so there were some big issues with that game. So like, calling it dead, yeah, sure, but like, I would call a game dead if the company who made it has a goal of getting 10 million copies sold and it only sold 6. I'd be like, oh, that game's dead. Because in the eyes of the company, it's dead. Even though there's a fan base and stuff, there's probably never going to be another one or support or anything like that.
I
But
mean, I don't think that's a fair assessment given how businesses work nowadays, but I would argue that you probably make more, well, maybe not more, but you have the potential to make more money after the sale of the game now because
so
microtransactions are everywhere.
I don't disagree with that at all. But my opinion was that if the company believes it's dead, I think the game's dead too. Because
Oh, okay.
if the
I
company
see what
doesn't
you're saying.
believe in something, I'm not going to believe in it. I'm not going to waste my money, except on DC
I
and
mean, yeah,
Sony
all right,
stuff.
that's fair.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
Well,
Because I just like getting my heart broke. You know what I mean? um, yeah, like I totally agree. Like if a game comes out and it's bad or like it's broken, work on it. Like
yeah.
you've seen,
Oh, yeah.
especially with I hate using this as an example because I don't want to give them credit, but the No Man's Sky developers, like their game came out and it was not good. And I remember looking at it and be like $5 game, and then when it was $5, I bought it. And it like it was all right,
hmm
and I got the platinum in it. And over the past what 4 years, 5 years now, almost 5 years. Yeah, I think it's almost 5 years.
That sounds about right.
Over the past almost 5 years, they've completely updated that game where they
That game's
started
actually pretty
charging
good
for
now.
stuff too. Like, hey, get this
hmm
edition, and it's almost full price basically, if not full
If
price.
you own the original one though, the original No Man's Sky, you got everything that they gave afterwards free of charge. That's the
Yeah,
thing. So like they definitely rewarded the adopters of the game, like who said, okay, I'm gonna take this game now, even though all the problems it had. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna reward you by saying, okay, whatever we make now, you guys get to have no charge.
now, question: would you use the
Yeah.
word reward, or would you be like, "Hey, this is what we promised you. We're giving you this"? I would say
So
for the
okay,
first couple years, they were living up to the promises that they made, and then
so
the
they
last
were a
few, it's been only rewards.
Okay, I can agree with that, but I think they've reached a point after a certain amount of time where they're like that word then becomes a reward because they've gone beyond what they
Yeah,
originally
yeah, that's what I
promised.
just said and what you just agreed to.
All right,
So it's very
okay,
interesting how you reworded that, and I like your rewording better. And if I knew
okay,
how to
great.
edit, I would change it, but it's too late. So,
Okay,
what did you think you agreed to?
I don't know what I thought I agreed to. I thought you were saying that like
Kevin, were you
because
thinking
I
that
when you
too? Like,
said
why did he say that? What?
Huh?
Were you
I
thinking
don't
that
think
too?
that
Like,
hard.
oh, okay.
because you said after a certain amount of years, and I was like, okay, well that basically sounds like the whole entire time that they had this game out, and I'm like, okay, well,
I gave an example of 2 years, and then I said three.
oh, 2 years. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right then.
Then we agree. That's really all that matters. You know what I
That's fine.
mean? Yeah. No, I think they've done a lot of hard work. I think the cyberpunk people are trying to do that with their game. I don't think they
No, they're
can.
not. No, yeah, no, they can't. They're
I mean,
not.
they're updating it. They're working
That
on it.
thing's dead.
So
Here we go
I
again.
I have my copy. Oh, with the dead. In the eyes of the public, I would agree with him and say that game's dead.
People just don't
I
want, I don't know. They've lost a lot of faith in it.
I own the game, and I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't get this as a gift. It was a waste of a gift because I have almost no plans of ever starting it up. Because even with the updated versions, it's just nothing like what they said it was going to be. And like Kevin, I know you didn't really follow like what they promised or what they said, and also you can't really take
No, I
what a
never do.
developer says or anything like that.
Yeah, I never follow what developers are talking about because it's always not in the final product. So,
True. I mean, some developers live up to it.
few and far between.
Yeah, a lot of the
Those
Sony
I
first
pay attention
party.
to, like the Path of Exile people.
Yeah, yeah. There's you find some, and then a lot of the first party of Sony, I think, follows through with their stuff. I think Nintendo first party, if they say they're going to do something, it's going to be in the game, and then they'll delay it for 15 years until it's in the game and working.
I
So,
mean, sure.
but like, yeah, like larger companies that aren't like first party developers who, even though they
Like
do
I'll
have
tell
a
you right now,
reputation.
Battlefield, right? DICE and all that, they're coming out and being like, "Oh man, you're gonna be able to like destroy all the buildings and stuff." And I sat there like, "Okay, we had that in Battlefield 5. You could destroy buildings. What's your point?
Well, I'm sure
Are
there
you
was more wording.
revolutionizing it? I doubt it. I bet you it's gonna be the exact same thing."
Their wording was, you're gonna destroy all the buildings,
They said something to that effect.
and you were able to destroy all the buildings in the previous Battlefield, or were you only able to destroy some?
No, anything that was on the map, well, except for like brick walls and stuff that had
See
to kind of
now,
be there.
the brick walls and stuff, maybe those go away. Eventually, it just becomes a no man's land, just a flat,
No, that'd be
completely
bad.
horrible. Yeah, no, I know, but also
Like you gotta have certain things that persist.
they said like there's going to be map altering events that change the
Oh,
landscape.
I
Didn't they
know.
say
I'm not
that?
excited about that at all.
So maybe it does become like a no man's land, but then like you're in trenches or something.
No, no, please no,
See, now I say please yes,
no. It'd
because if they
be
could pull
worse.
that off, that could be
That
cool.
game would be dead so fast.
Ooh, dead, huh? Strong words.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a shooter. You need a certain amount of environment to persist, no matter how much destructible environment you put in, unless it's Red Faction.
Well, you could make like
Red
more
Faction
cover
actually
by
did
like
that pretty
destroying the
well.
ground.
Huh?
You could make more cover, like I said, putting trenches in. Like if bombs go off, like the building's gone, now there's a giant hole in the ground and you're in cover.
It's not. It's not the same depth of tactics.
What do you mean?
Because okay, so then everybody's just gonna be in freaking ditches and stuff, and head glitching everything. That's not fun.
See, you automatically jump to the head glitches. See, I don't know about any of those.
Because I play games like this.
Yeah, and I don't know about any of those. So get off your high horse. I
Okay.
know you understand everything about every game.
I
So
don't.
yeah, sometimes you act like you do. So I'm gonna need you to
I,
just take a step back.
all
You know,
right. I can't
join
help
us.
it that I've
Join
played
us,
almost every
stupids.
multiplayer first-person shooter game
Yeah,
like ever
join
made.
us. Pretend that we don't know as much about those video games as you, just for one moment.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying, like, just pretend for a moment that we're stupid. Please.
You're not.
No, I mean, like, in regards to those games, we are. Like, we don't know anything about those.
Okay.
Like, I know Z plays a little bit of them, and I don't know what
I,
Z's
pl-
thinking about, like, my idea of the
I
trenches.
I mean the trenches. I think I have to agree with Kevin. Where yeah, it becomes annoying. You always have to be shooting right above the. It's you know how like when we played Cursed, um,
No.
that that has trenches in it, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the. They're not as bad where you don't have the problem of okay, there's head glitches. You have to be able to like aim, like always have to constantly look for somebody's head popping out of the ground. Those were high enough, and they don't have any environmental like destruction where they get lower and lower. So if
Right.
you already have
Yeah,
made
there's
trenches,
limits of it,
that's
Plus
sure.
a
fine. But
really
if
bad
you
bullet detection system that you're like, oh, I'm totally aiming in a spot where I could shoot over the ground and you hit the ground.
or you're talking about just in general with cursed, yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
alright.
don't
A
agree
lot of
with that
games
one.
had that problem, and I know why.
Yeah,
But
but you know
it's
what?
laziness on the
The
developer's
thing is,
aspect.
I enjoyed Cursed a lot. Like when we played that, I
Oh,
was
it's a
like,
great
this is
game.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's the best battle royale I've played because you can actually kill people.
Yeah, they don't just come back from the dead.
Apex. Well, no. I don't mean it like that. Like guns and stuff actually do damage. Like Apex Legends. Oh my god, you have to shoot people so freaking much just to down somebody.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, especially with Call of Duty. Although Warzone, I feel like people down me in
Warzone's
2 shots,
not
but
too terrible.
Yeah, you played
it
some
takes.
Warzone a little bit, Kevin. I watched you play that, I
No,
think.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's
you
not.
did. I watched you play that.
No, I played Blackout.
What is the difference?
Warzone and Blackout
A
are
lot.
two different battle royales.
Man, I totally forgot about Blackout. I thought it was Warzone. I thought Warzone was the
No,
one they
Blackout
just
was
kept
great.
going. And I thought they just kept expanding it. Which one has the dam?
Yeah, Warzone is. I think did Blackout have the dam?
Yes, that was Blackout
Yeah.
because Warzone doesn't have a dam.
Warzone doesn't have a dam? I totally
No.
thought that was Warzone.
There's a quarry there or something. Maybe that's what you're thinking about, but there's no dam in Warzone.
Huh. I always thought I thought Blackout literally just changed his name and then became Warzone. I literally
Can you
thought it was like the
still
same map and stuff.
can you still download Blackout? Is that still a thing where you can download it still?
I
Ooh,
don't think Blackout
I think
is,
it's dead.
but I could be wrong.
I think it's like actually dead.
I'm pretty sure it's Warzone or nothing, but I could be
Yeah,
horribly
just
wrong
like
on
Nerf.
that. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah. No, it's similar to Nerf.
Yeah, just
Okay.
like Nerf.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Do you ever consider what games would you consider not killable, like online wise? Like I would say any of the CODs, the GTA game,
What?
GTA
Killable?
Online.
Hold on. What are you talking about?
So like those
I need
games
to.
would probably never be dead because they'll always have a player base to
Oh,
them.
Well, no. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Now we got to get a real definition going on
Okay.
because I would argue that every single Call of Duty before like the previous generation are all dead, except for maybe Modern Warfare 2.
Except for Modern Warfare 2.
are we counting the
Modern Warfare
remastered
2
Modern
is like
Warfare?
timeless.
Or
Yes.
Are we
okay.
counting the remake of Modern Warfare?
Did you? What do
Yes.
you? Do you listen? What? Do
You
you
said the
not hear me?
remaster. There's a remaster and there's a remake.
Oh, I didn't know there were two different ones.
Yes.
whichever one came out with oh goodness. It wasn't. I don't think it was with, but
Didn't the
it's a Call of Duty
remaster
game.
not have the online and the remake did, or vice versa?
No.
The remake
There was
had the
online.
online. The remastered also had online.
Okay.
Didn't it come out with a Call of Duty game? Shoot, I don't remember now.
There was
So
one
long
that did
ago.
launch with another Call of Duty.
I played it. I know that. I hated it.
Yeah.
Again, because I didn't like Modern Warfare the first time.
See, I don't have a problem with the remake.
Modern Warfare 2 was so much better than Modern Warfare 1.
Infinite Warfare. That's what that one came in.
That's not right.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but that's not right.
Wikipedia.
It was not that long ago.
Was initially released as part of the special edition bundle of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare in November of 2016.
Was that long ago?
I mean,
I refuse to believe that.
if you wanna, I like how you're like, that's not right. I don't know who said that. Wikipedia.
I refuse to believe that. It was
You
that long
know,
ago.
well, a game originally came out in 2007, so a 2016 remaster makes sense.
What? No, but I don't remember playing that with Infinite Warfare. I played Infinite Warfare like crazy. I loved Infinite Warfare.
When was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 remade?
Isn't that what you just said?
No, I said remaster. Z corrected me and said there's a remake and a remaster. When did the remake?
The remake is the 2019 Modern Warfare.
That sounds more right.
Yes,
That's
the
what
remake
I
is a. Yep, the 2019 one is the remake, and then the remaster was the one that they sold with Infinite Warfare, like you said before, I think.
Yeah, that one was a remaster.
Yep, and then the remake was 2019.
Wait, this is the same Call of Duty game?
Yes. It's a remake, so they've remade the entire game, the story, I think, but it's the same Modern Warfare universe. It's the same characters.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're redoing. So going forward, they're redoing the universe in that. So it's tying into
So it's a reboot?
Cold War. Yeah, just so they can tie into Cold War, because
So
Cold
it,
War is
Wait, no.
tied into Modern.
wait,
Hold
that's
on.
not
Are
a
you
remake.
talking about
Wait, what?
the new Modern Warfare, you mean?
Yeah, because the new Modern Warfare is supposed to tie
Okay, no,
into
then I did
Cold
play the
War.
remaster. Apparently, I did play that during Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, because I didn't even play the story
Because
of
I
Modern Warfare, but I just looked it up, and basically this is tying in. That's why the three games, like, I'm sorry, not three, but two, because Warzone, I think I count that as a game, but Warzone
count it as a game.
and yeah, so Warzone, Cold War, and Modern Warfare all tied together with one story. That's why when they showed the trailer of Cold War off, people were like freaking out online because one of the characters from Modern Warfare was in Cold War.
It's not. According to Wikipedia, this is not a remake, but a reboot of the series.
Yeah, tomatoes,
Oh,
tomato.
so then, but then what do you, okay, so why, wait a minute, hold on, wait a second. How, that's, what do you classify that as? That's
It's
still a
not the same
remake.
story. It's not a remake would be remaking the game, the original game. I
Oh, okay. I
would,
see what Adam's saying. Okay.
yeah, a
But it's
re.
still,
Oh my
what
god,
is the
you
original
total.
game? The original game is a remake, it's still a shooter. You're following, what's his face? You still have Ghost, you still have,
So,
Yeah,
what's his,
it's yeah.
Soap,
That's like saying
Philip.
that you're saying
McTavish
you're
should maybe still be
basically
alive.
saying that the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out next week is a remake of the 1995 movie, which it's not. It's a
Now
reboot.
hold on.
It's the same characters but completely different
Movies
story. Like it's all
movies don't have remakes and remasters. Those are just reboots. Those aren't remakes and
no.
remasters,
People
okay?
make remakes of movies.
What is a remake of a movie? Give me a remake. Except for
Remake.
Zack's, don't, not Justice League. That's not,
That's
don't
not a
count that, because
remake.
that's,
That's not at all a remake. I don't even know why you
how
would
is
think
that
that.
not a, what do you call that then?
That's the original vision being shared. Because there's all different footage and stuff. A remake would be like basically a shot for shot remake. There are ones that exist. I can't even think of one. They do a lot. Oh,
So,
like Ring and Ringu. They remade it to be an American version, but it's literally a remake of the. It has all the exact same plot points with the same
It
characters,
does
just
not.
Americanized. It has mostly of the same stuff. They've changed a couple
I
things because it doesn't.
could not make it through Ringu. Ringu is awful in my opinion.
Most people would disagree with that. Also, we have 2 minutes left in this podcast, so just a heads up.
Well, because we're doing episode 3.
So,
No.
remakes and remasters in video games are different things, correct? But you're talking about a reboot because even Call of Duty does not consider it as a remake; it's a reboot.
that makes no sense.
I would
That's
say
stupid.
Ratchet and Clank 2016 is a remake because it remakes the original game, but also changes a bunch of things. I wouldn't call it a remaster because it's not the same game, just prettier. It does
I would
make
agree with
sense.
those definitions.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I get where the confusion was because it's literally named
I
the
don't
same.
understand why they're saying that it's rebooting the series because it's not dead in the first place. But sure.
They
Yeah, it
probably
was
just ran out
never,
of places to go with the plot, and they were like, "All right, let's start over and craft better things." So, or something like
I mean,
that.
they had tons of places to go with the plot, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
but
But
they get lazy, don't
Modern
keep
Warfare
track of
3
stuff.
left it pretty open, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, technically, Modern Warfare 3 doesn't come out until Modern Warfare 2 comes out because those are
Yeah, you're
dead
right.
now.
Hey, maybe Modern Warfare 2 will be just as good as Modern Warfare 2.
I'll tell you what, probably not because video games disappoint us all the time. And let me tell you something else. It's the end of the show. It got spicy in some parts. Games aren't dead until Kevin says so.
Yep,
Games are dead
that's it.
when Z and I say so. Uh, remakes and remasters. No movie has ever been remade. Only rebooted. Quote from Z. I'm keeping that one in the bank.
yep.
Um, And yeah, this was a fun one. So I hope
It was actually.
everyone say goodbye, and I hope everyone has a safe holiday.
There's no
Adam,
holiday.
I don't know
I
when
think
we're
we
doing this
reached.
again, so I'm just gonna have a good New Year, and
Are
this is
we?
the end. Bye.